Welcome to day 14, and we'll go a bit deeper and technical. But this is just to make your system scalable and easy. So we're talking about integrating SAP or ERP into telematics for seamless data flow. Now, from my experience, if your tracking team and ERP don't talk, your team will keep wasting hours copying data and making mistakes. There needs to be a handshake with the telematics system and your ERP. And that's what we're talking about today. So one of the biggest bottlenecks in modern day fleet operation is data duplication, right? And manual reconciliation between telematics platform and the business systems that you use, whether it's SAP, your nav, and all of that. And today we'll dive into using integration to bridge the gap between real-time tracking and your core business systems. What this will do is to remove frictions, improve reporting, and ensure faster decision making. Why does this integration matter? It matters to reduce human errors in manual entry, and then it speeds up data availability. So the tracking data is real time in sync with the ERP data or the deliveries and dispatches, right? And then it ensures auto updates from trip milestones, driver status, and invoices because they are in sync. And it improves audit compliance and SLA traceability. What big question? What can we do with it? I'll tell you. Number one is delivery timestamps. And so there's the vehicle loads from SAP or your ERP system. You take the dispatch that you match it with the tracking data time. So delivery timestamps auto updates in your ERP, right? Another what can be integrated is your trip start and trip stop. It triggers a workflow stage between the systems. The fuel log also auto-populates expenses tracking. And then your geofence events fills in location fields in the ERP. The time it arrived the plant, the time it left the plant, the time it got to the customer, the time it exited the customer, and all of those. So you can have your total turnaround time in a view in real time. There's a sync. And then it gives you can also integrate your truck status, reflecting vehicles in dispatches, vehicles at the warehouse, vehicles coming back to load again. So let me give you a basic overview how this can be done. Step one, you use API connections between your tracking provider and the ERP system, right? And then you map common data points like the to truck, right? Trip ID to customer, you do all of that between those two systems. And then you assign the system rules, and then it triggers automatic updates. And then you document the workflow. Very simple. Now, when you're doing this, these are some of the pitfalls you need to avoid. You need to avoid mismatched field names or data types. It scatters everything, right? You need to ensure and avoid no validation layers between systems. You need to also avoid poor documentation of SOPs or post integrations. And then lack of exception handling is an issue you need to also deal with. E.g., for example, what happens if the tracker goes offline? How do you handle such? You need to also make sure you deal with these pitfalls. Let me end with this quote. An unintegrated system is a disconnected team. So my question is your tracking system speaking with your ERP? So today, identify one manual workflow between your telematics and ERP system that should be automated and begin to design that. And if it's something you need help achieving, you can reach out to us and we could help you in dealing with that. I hope you got value today in this video. See you in the next video. Remember, we're on a journey to help you scale your operations with telematics. And I hope you'll be getting value all along. My name is Shino Salako,